Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
The Cardinals are shopping for cosmetics this weekend. Maybe some foundation, maybe some concealer, maybe some pig lipstick. Anything to make us look forward and not backward to that awful December swoon that tanked another season. But their issues are very real because third place is no consolation prize, not when it guarantees a much tougher schedule next year because a large portion of the Valley is done with Kyler Murray and because there's a new favorite football team right in their backyard. Yes, Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State are not only activating the marketplace, they're taking over the marketplace. They sold 300 season tickets the day after the Peach Bowl. Not 300 tickets, mind you, 300 season tickets. And to date, 3,100 people have joined ASU's season ticket family since they went on sale 33 days ago. Seriously, if you were going to spend your money and half of your weekend with one football team, which one would you choose? Granted, the Cardinals might generate some optimism Sunday with a raucous blowout or with a huge performance from Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, or maybe a huge defensive day from Darius Robinson, or maybe by drafting Cam Scatterbo as Dillingham recently suggested. But there are no more moral victories. There are no more plaudits for trying hard. It's time for the Cardinals to spend, win, and defend their turf, not just in the NFC West, but in their backyard as well. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
All very, very delicious food for thought. And by the way, love the pig lipstick line. That's exactly what popped into my head when you started talking about cosmetics.
Makeup, yeah, cosmetics, yeah. Again, some concealer, some pig lipstick, something to make us feel better over a season that was once so promising.
Yeah, it was, and it's become all too familiar. Unfortunately, a Week 18 game, a 17th game of the season, that you gotta, we're digging pretty deep to try to find optimism and what to look for. And we'll get into that a little bit later on this hour. But when you hold these two teams against each other, what you have posed in the Blast today is a very interesting thought. And I don't think it's easy for ASU to stay on top here. And I say that by virtue really only of the college football calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It was at such a high going into the Peach Bowl. In the fourth quarter and the overtimes of the Peach Bowl, it was a level that we've rarely seen this college football team achieve in terms of interest. And we talked about the abrupt ending, and that's what sucks about it. One pass to the goal line gets picked off, your season's over, your championship run is over, it's done. And we won't see this team play football again for 9 months, which, look, it's about the same stretch for the Cardinals. But the NFL offseason still dominates the calendar. People are not going to get in tune as much with recruiting. They're not going to get in tune as much with transfer portal movement. Maybe they will this year because ASU's on this high. But every year, football fans are monitoring free agency. We're a week away from diving heavy into draft preparation for the Arizona Cardinals. And that's become a cottage industry. So I'm wondering what this looks like as we're gearing up for the 2025 season opener for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and again, it's the season ticket sales have been brisk, wouldn't begin to describe it, but again, you would expect this kind of reaction for a team that hit this deep, and the amount of fans that traveled and the peripheral stories I'm hearing from people that were in Atlanta. It was a real showing out by this fan base. And the fan bases, they're motivated, they're into this. One ASU fan said the beauty of that game against that they just lost, the beauty of it was it gave that fan every emotion on the spectrum, went through every emotion imaginable,
yes,
and it was glorious.
Yes,
even the pain at the end.
We don't belong. Okay, maybe they're getting back into it. Oh my God, they're going to win this thing. To, oh my God, we lost.
Yeah. I had actually, when they tied the game at 24-all, I had actually read Chris Cartman's prediction, and I thought, this dude's going to nail the thing on the money.
That's crazy.
Right down to a kicker booting a game-winning field goal in a year in which their kickers have become a point of derision.
That would have been the most ironic thing ever.
Yes, it would.
By the way, on the field goal thing that you brought up yesterday, it got some run. The bounced field goal counting. Now there's a debate about that.
Yes.
We're seeing different interpretations of
Yes.
the rule book.
Yes.
Some say it should count. Some say it shouldn't count.
Yeah. Some people are claiming the person who posted that only relied on ChatGPT for the explanation, didn't actually check the full rules book. There's all sorts of stuff going on about that.
Hey, I got something wrong?
Yeah, imagine that, right?
Man, I thought it was 100%.
Yeah. That was when I saw that at the end of yesterday's show. I'm like, okay, really? This is now getting folded into the mix.
I saw somebody on social media, and it was sent to me. And again, I don't know who this person was, but was going as far as to say that ASU was formally protesting the outcome. Like, that's not happening.
It's not happening either. No. Yeah, so I think that in the case of this, this is competition for the Cardinals. They might not want to say it, but it is. Mm-hmm. It is. Because if you were a football fan and you want to be a season ticket holder, that's the question. You're not going to be a season ticket holder to both.
No.
And if you're a season ticket holder to the Cardinals and you're looking at the renewal rates and you're going, no. Not when I've got this option over here. So this is something the Cardinals have to be mindful of. And it's I've been questioning the urgency for a while now because I do not believe it should take 3 years to build out a football team. But this is the path they've chosen. So this is the time that they've got to pounce now.
Yeah.
And going into this next year, look, I'll tell you what else. Drafting Cam Scadaboo would obviously be a great victory, a great PR victory. It would be like drafting Pat Tillman or Jake Plummer or Tyrann Mathieu. It'd be the kind of guy that would be like, oh, heck yeah, sign me up. The other thing they could do, and we talked about this earlier, and we can revisit this later if you want, is if they drafted a quarterback, if they target a quarterback that maybe nobody's heard of, and there's a lot of guys out there, it's considered to be a terrible quarterback class. But that doesn't mean that's accurate. That's just perception. And say if they drafted somebody you may not have heard of in the second round or the third round, and making the intentions clear that we may have a quarterback battle here, I think that would get people engaged. I think what we talked about earlier in the show is very, very real. That even though Kyler Murray, to some people, myself included, look like okay, he's got the thread back. He looks solid again. There's a lot of people who have just closed the book, just flat out done.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.